kill switch engage?
No.
Live from Lexington, Kentucky, horse capital of the world, Gladiator Sports and Blacklot Moon Productions present OVW FanZone Live, where fans talk back. My name is Tiny Bryan, your producer, announcer, voice of the chat room, and overall fat guy. And now,
come on.
Chat room, please welcome Abracadabra and they're right back, bruh. It's the OVW podcast broadcast team.
We might have to clean that one up a little bit. My name is Jack Minogues.
And I'm Brian Hines. And tonight we get into all the lingering questions from this week in OVW, like Crix is turning heel on the OVW in favor of the masked faction.
Is tomorrow going to be the last time we see Hima?
Jump into the OVW YouTube chat room and find out.
Tiny Brian is on chat as the OVW podcast is looking for your questions and comments. He'll have them for us later, so please fill the chat with anything OVW-related, questions, comments, concerns, complaints. I almost said requests, but that was, request stuff from OVW2.
Yeah, sure,
Request stuff from OVW2.
Yeah.
Jump in the chat, put all of that in the chat. I know that, I'm not on the social media. What's this thing, the super likes? What are those?
There's a super chat feature where
Okay,
if there's a whole bunch of questions and you really want to get yours read, you can do a super chat, and then Tiny will interrupt and put you at the front of the line and read your comment or question immediately. It's kind of like Touch Tunes. Do you know what Touch Tunes is?
Like jump in the line and touch tunes?
Yeah.
Like where you pay 25 cents extra to hear what a fool believes so that somebody else can't hear What I've Done by Linkin Park, right?
Okay, I wouldn't go with What a Fool
That
Believes.
might just be my bar. That might just be my bar.
I'm not going with What a Fool Believes because I don't like Michael McDonald. But
I
I do have my...
We only talk positive about Mac Diesel at the OVW podcast and on OVW TV, okay?
To be specific, I don't think we actually have a policy on what we say about
Here's
him.
the policy right now. Michael McDonald, top tier, goated, God mode, greatest of all time. Love Michael McDonald. Mac Diesel, love you, baby. Come on the show. Talk to us about Freya the Slayer.
What a Fool Believes, huh?
Okay.
I do believe he would come on the show. He'll, as long as the check clears, I've been led to believe Michael McDonald will do just about anything. But a super chat, though, as you were saying,
Yes.
much like jumping a line and touch tunes, means that Tiny will interrupt us no matter what we are saying or we are doing. Your question, comment, concern, complaint, requests, whatever you have to say will go straight to the top of our chat room, and it will get addressed immediately.
That is my understanding, yes.
All right, we got a little bit of tour update. Actually, you know what?
We got some news before we
Yeah,
get to
we
the
got some big news, a lot of big news.
Things are so hot out here. How about we cool down with Al Snow, right? We get a little refreshment from Al Snow. Is that where we're going?
we do have a little video from Al Snow
we
between hours 1 and 2 with the latest OVW Rise.
Oh, so should we jump in right now into the news update here?
No, let's play that video.
Yeah, I was going to
Let's leave
say,
that off,
let's
yes.
cool down with Al Snow here.
Yeah.
GE Hot Point is going to help us, and they're putting in a brand new industrial size air conditioning unit. And it's a little better tonight, still not perfect, but GE Hot Point is going to help us, and they're putting in a brand new industrial size air conditioning unit. Also, we're going to make a special fan appreciation. We're going to roll back the ticket prices all summer long. That way we can make it to where everyone can afford to come. And then on July 2nd, we're having a very special fan appreciation night. Everyone can come for free.
Okay, so that was Al Snow giving us some big news. Want you recap that for us, guys?
Yeah, so that was last Thursday. That happened in between the hours.
Hour 1
right?
and 2, yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't show up on TV. We were happy to bring you the coverage here. Brian Hines, let's recap some of what Al Snow said here.
Well, at the top of the list, biggest first and foremost, new air conditioning is coming to Davis Arena, courtesy of GE Hot Point.
Thank you,
That
Hot
is
Point.
huge news. Thank you so much, GE Hot Point.
Big news. But that's not the only news that Al Snow had to cover here.
But wait, there's more.
Ticket rollback all summer long. General admission tickets for OVW are just $10. Reserve seating is $15. I think that's basically what it's $5 off of each tier there. Thereabout. So look forward to that. July 2nd,
Yeah, I missed that.
we will be returning to a Tuesday night at OVW. That was OVW's night for so long, was Tuesday nights. And that evening of taping at the OVW Davis Arena, that TV taping on July 2nd is free.
That's right, folks.
So be sure you stack that in there.
It will cost you $0 to get in the door if you want to go see OVW live at historic Davis Arena.
Even more of an excuse to go enjoy some of the great scenery at Davis Arena, some of the great matches, and get yourself some of them wings too.
Oh my God, those wings are incredible.
Man, those are so good, man.
And
Those
I mean,
things are
don't
so good.
forget about Wix.
Yeah,
or
great
Gorilla
concessions.
Bob's.
Great concessions
Great,
all the way around.
Absolutely
And
outstanding concessions.
You can spend that money on gas or
It's
food.
actually like 4.5 stars on Google.
Wix
Really?
No, the OVW concession stand
itself is
itself is
Are you
4.5.
serious?
I would not be unserious
He is
on the
he's
FanZone.
Wow.
the producer. He is the producer. He comes
Well,
with the
he
facts.
produced a 4.5-star review from Google. so
True
that's-
story. I was looking to find a place to have some lunch with somebody involved with OVW a couple months ago, and so I put in OVW headquarters, and I'm like, search for restaurants around there, and I got a hit of a restaurant super close that was 4.5 stars, and it was the snack bar. So I almost took somebody to lunch at their own snack bar, but I bet it would have been close.
I would say 5 stars for the snack bar. Whoever's giving it 4.5 stars is lying. I would say 5 stars for the snack
that
bar.
is a great snack bar.
I think that we ought to just automatically, officially refer to it from now on as the 5-star snack bar.
5-star snack bar.
There you go, kids.
But I digress. That July 2nd,
That's one.
2024, or 2024, it's a Tuesday. Those tickets are free. No matter how you spend the extra money.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. We have a super chat. I will need to interrupt.
Oh
What?
my gosh, who's on? Who is it?
Brian Dunlap.
Hey, Brian.
I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Brian.
Yeah, Dunlap says OV dub, OV dub, OV dub, OV dub, OV dub. Okay, that's
I don't chant, but thank you, Brian.
on behalf of Brian. Brian says you're welcome, right, Brian?
Yes, from one Brian to another. Thank you.
All right, let's put a pin in this. July 2nd, 2024, Tuesday night. That's free, as we've said 1,000 times, but you need to remember it 1,000 times more. Show up for that show. And you got no money in it. Just show up. It's easy. It's easy. 4400 Shepherdsville Road, Louisville, Kentucky, historic Davis Arena. And our friends over at the Ringside Podcast, they have a new episode up called Let's Catch Up as well.
Yes, we are
They've been
the
doing
unofficial.
interviews.
Oh, who?
They've done it with WWE stars.
Oh,
So that they're up there.
Yeah,
but this is their
they've
first.
got a few connections.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Daniel Spencer. He's lead ref. He's a mover and shaker.
Yeah.
Got us some tickets recently to an event, or got you guys some tickets recently.
He
So
most
we
certainly
appreciate
did,
that.
and we
We're
are
appreciative
very
of
thankful
that.
for that experience.
So we're glad. So we will say Victor's already listened to it, and so we can say thanks, guys, for the various shout outs that we, or at least the veiled references.
Thank you.
And we
Thank
will
you
be
to
listening.
our official friends.
And we certainly say, please listen to the official podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling, the Ringside Podcast.
July 11th is OVW TV 1300. So
Wow.
that July 2nd show will be $12.99. The next show will be July 11th on the returning back to the traditional Thursday night spot, OVW 1300. OVW is not unaware of its history. They've celebrated 30 years this year. I'm sure that this monumental episode, 1300 episodes on the 30th anniversary of the promotion, will be massive. That's July 11th.
We're starting to hear some things about it.
Really? What are we
a little
hearing?
Scuttlebutt, little scoop. Might be some people who
That was-
maybe if you've watched 1,299 episodes of OVW TV, maybe you've seen before in the past.
Well, I kind of figured as much, but I didn't know if we had any specifics. But the way things have gone through just regular programming channels, I can only imagine how big they're going to make the 1300th episode. What he said.
Yes, that.
Yeah, love to see those big time tentpole OVW events. All of your tickets for OVW events, including your discounted tickets for the majority of the summer, can be found at ovwtix.com. If you are trying to go to one of the Dano's national tour dates, which we will cover right now, those dates can be found at ovwtix.com as well. But first, let me remind you, we host a little podcast called OVW Podcast, the unofficial podcast of Ohio Valley Wrestling.
That's right.
We are
It's out
there
on Mondays.
We are there several days a week. Tiny Brian hosts part of the shows. We host part of the shows. We do interviews. We do special updates, all kinds of stuff. If you want to keep up with us and what we do, you can find it at OVW Podcast on all of your streaming platforms, all of your social media. And we will be this summer doing a live not a live podcast, live to tape podcast called Wrestlers
Watching
Wrestlers.
Yes.
Which is, of course, probably tied into the reason I know that we're here and a lot of you guys are here. We are going to hit the year anniversary of Wrestlers on Netflix. We want to do a retrospective of that, kind of with the context of what we know about OVW in modern day, and also sit down and watch it with some of the people that were there on screen, their back scenes, et cetera, et cetera. That should be a lot of fun, and you can find that and all of the rest of our work at ovwpodcast.com.
There you can also sign up for our newsletter, OVW Podcast Connect, where I'm certain we're soon going to have Hindsight, which is 2020, and Oaks Notes about the OVW.
Oh, yeah.
Live in your inbox every week.
It will. The Hindsight 2020, I can't speak to that. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. Really looking forward to seeing Hindsight 2020. Oaks Notes will be about OVW eventually. You'll have to get to like the 6th paragraph after I've made my
So like a recipe article.
Yes. Eventually it'll get to OVW, but I might talk about like, whatever else before that. But eventually I will tie it into OVW, I promise. I'm a little wordy, if you couldn't tell.
No.
Just ask Freya from last week, because I asked her a question that I know went on for about 12 words too long, and she knew it too, and it was bad because I knew I was talking too much, and she knew I was talking too much, but I couldn't stop it. It was really embarrassing.
She does have that teacher energy that's like she's got a red pen on her, and she does have notes.
I'm sorry, Freya. I'm sorry. I'm getting better.
Speaking of Freya, we do want to shout out our friends at Overdrive, specifically the commentary team.
That's right.
AJ McKay, who is our interview subject. That interview is out first thing in the morning.
Yes, that's right.
And we interviewed him along with wrestler Jake Cloyd.
Referee Jake Cloyd.
What did I say?
Wrestler else. Jake Cloyer.
Wow. I apparently had a small stroke, folks. My apologies.
That's the second time during this podcast. Are you all right, really?
I mean, maybe.
Malachi, go get your dad some water, please.
Take your pulse and like maybe lean back in the chair and lay down for a
my
little
Apple
bit or
Watch says I'm fine. So
yeah, but
I'm going to drink some water.
Okay.
But yeah, that interview is out in the morning. Jackman
at OVW Podcast.
Yes.
At OVW Podcast. Brian Hines, tour update. Let's start at the very top, baby. Let's tell us what we're doing this weekend.
All right, coming up this weekend, we've got OVW in Crestwood, Kentucky, June 8th. Next weekend, you've got 2 shows. That's a double barrel Saturday. There is one in Mount Sterling where you and Brian,
we have breaking news.
Oh, we do?
If you'll notice your list, hopefully I updated it. Your Cincinnati show was actually not on the same weekend as the Mount Sterling show.
Cincinnati show
has been rescheduled.
To when?
If you look further down
August
your list,
16th.
there it
Son
is.
of a biscuit. All right. Never
mind.
My
birthday weekend, baby. Looks like I'm going to Cincinnati that weekend.
Okay, all right. Well, then that just means I can make both shows. Crestwood, June 8th. Mount Sterling, June 15th. London, Kentucky, June 22nd. OVW.
That's at the Optimist Club. We got to mention the Optimist Club.
Yeah, I bet they're really looking forward to that.
Very much looking forward to it.
And even if it's postponed, it'll still be okay.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed out there in London, Kentucky.
OVW pay-per-view, Independence Rage at Davis Arena, June 29th.
Shaping up to be a huge pay-per-view for OVW, by the way.
Phoenix, Arizona, July 20th. Las Vegas, Nevada, July 21st. Cheswick, Pennsylvania, August 10th. The newly rescheduled Cincinnati date at Riverfront Live is August 16th. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is August 18th. OVW pay-per-view, OVW Fight Night at Appalachian Wireless Center in Pico, Kentucky, August 31st.
So what's been said more now? That I'm from Pike County or that there are 3,000 seats in the arena?
Neither, because 4,000 seats in that arena, baby. Come on.
You do make me feel better about saying that I'm from Pike County, by the way.
No.
If that's the case, it was going to come down to I'm from Pike County or digress, because I think we're about neck and neck on those.
3,000 people are from Pike County. No, wait. We'll just put it together.
But I digress. There's 4,000 seats out there at that Appalachian Wireless Arena August 31st. That is a huge, huge, huge deal. I've been to 1,000 wrestling shows in my life. I can name on one hand the ones that I have been to that are bigger than 4,000 people. And I've been to some decent-sized shows, some really good-sized shows, some very memorable shows. This can be a memorable show for OVW. It can be a memorable show for you, your friends, your family, your community at the Appalachian Wireless Arena on August 31st, OVW Fight Night. Get your tickets at ovwtix.com.
So I just realized we did bury the lead on one thing. That we have a guest tonight.
We do. This is kind of a touch and go guess, so I was kind of gonna look for direction
just
from
gonna
you as to how to bring it up.
I forgot to put it in the notes, but yes, Cashflo, who is still on location in Atlanta, Georgia, where it's hotter. Hotlanta.
Oh God, yeah.
Is there filming season 2 of Tulsa King? In fact, while we're here, our question of the week actually involves Tulsa King.
That leads us to our question of the week.
It's in the FanZone right now on Facebook. Just search FanZone Live and you'll find the Facebook group. It's a public group. Feel free to join. In there, we have asked you the question, will you watch Tulsa King now that Cashflo is there? We give you 3 options. I'm already watching Tulsa King and I'm just ready.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to start watching Tulsa King because Cashflo is there.
Fair.
And then there's the other possible one.
Can I get a hell nah, brother?
Words to that effect.
Loser.
So, go in there, make your selections. And frankly, if we get a lot of people who are saying they either watch it now or going to start, who knows? We may start watching an episode of Tulsa King a week and talking about it right here on this very broadcast.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah,
and we could all watch it. Let me know if there's interest, chat room, in sort of doing a Tulsa King watch-along right here in the Fan Zone every week as we get ready for Cashflow's triumphant return in Tulsa King Season 2.
I've never watched it, so
I've never
I'd be
seen
curious.
a minute.
I
It's an
haven't
interesting
either.
premise.
I hear it's great. I hear great things.
It reminds me, in premise, it reminds me of the show Lilyhammer.
I was gonna say it sounds a lot like Lily,
which I enjoyed.
Lilyhammer.
Which I enjoyed a whole bunch back in the day of early Netflix.
Yeah,
So,
that was one of
What
those that
platform
you
is
would
this
just
on?
get Paramount Plus,
Paramount Plus.
And that's why I
the
haven't
home
seen
of
it.
Star Trek.
and the home of RuPaul's Drag Race,
Exactly.
And lots of other
and the home of
things.
Tulsa King.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Alright.
The home of
So we
Cashflow.
will-
One of the several streaming homes of Cashflow. Apparently,
He's everywhere. Cashflow is, they're all paying money. So,
Yeah.
Cashflow
Cash is
later.
king.
But next we get into our predictions.
All right, let's do it. So we're here at the B block of the show here.
Well,
Is that
let's
correct?
go to a break first.
Yeah, let's
shall
do
we?
a break.
Yeah, I think that sounds.
Let's take a
really
break
good.
and-
This is a TV show, supposedly, right?
Supposedly, sort of. So let's take a break.
We'll be back right after this. Thanks, guys.
I'm not a wrestler.
You could have gotten in the picture.
Certified Luke Curtis here with the OVW podcast, and today is OVW Day, baby. Look, you got the whole crew. Turn the camera right there.
The official over here, official.
Yeah, I'm the unofficial. Yeah, I'm unofficial press, I guess you'd say.
And we are back, baby. Business is better than ever. We're the hottest company in professional wrestling, and we're the capital, baby.
Woo! Yes!
Wrestling, a love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand, a brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. 2 entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. From counting the lights in your local armory to main eventing in Korakuen Hall in Tokyo, Japan. Collar and elbow, the wrestling brand.
If you've ever dreamed of being part of professional wrestling or sports entertainment, make that dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
Week, hopefully we'll have this all straightened out.
FanZone. Whoa!
Get your ticket.
I'm Anthony. I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
Welcome back to the OVW FanZone Live. My name is Jack Oaks.
And I'm Brian Hines.
Let's get into this has become one of my favorite things that we do here every week, Brian Hines. Aside from interviewing some of the great superstars at OVW, Ed and Al, who aren't active wrestlers but nevertheless huge parts of Ohio Valley Wrestling. This is probably my favorite thing that we do here. And chat, please feel free to jump in here with your predictions. Admonish us for our bad ones. Praise us for our good ones. Please jump in the chat here. Tiny Brian, let's go through our predictions from last week.
I do enjoy I'm with you on this. I really enjoy the prediction segment. This has turned out to be something fun.
Before we jump into this, Cashflo will be on later in the show. I know all you guys love Cash, but we got to tease him a little bit so that you stick around. So
yes, so we will, but we will get there. We'll get there soon. All right. So what we had last week for OVW TV 1294, we had an OVW Heavyweight Championship bout between the then OVW Heavyweight Champion Tony Evans and the challenger returning Crixus. Jackman, both of you said that he would win. Crixus would win. Both of you said it would be by disqualification so that the title would not change hands.
Yes.
And both of you, in that respect, were wrong. We did, in fact, have a title change hands.
Maybe,
oh, boy, did we ever.
Maybe I was wrong on purpose.
Oh, yeah? You got a little inside information over there on the Crixus beat?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm just saying that I told you a couple things that were going to happen before they happened, didn't I?
The man likes keeping secrets, folks.
If
That's
you listen
all we'll
to our weekly show, Brian Hines pegged from a mile away. Wait, I should change the verbiage on that. Brian Hines guessed from a mile away that
it wasn't a guess
that Crixus would win, and he also kind of very plainly saw Crixus was going to join up with who we are now calling the Men in Black.
Are we not? Do we have that from someone?
That's what I've been seeing on the social media.
Well, I thought you weren't on. You're confusing.
I'm
me.
on one social media, and it's the same one that you're on with the exact same feed.
So it's Crixus and a Johnny Cash cover band.
Crixus and Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith.
Oh, good. I better write things down, or else it'll make me forget.
Yeah, Crixus and the Masked Men, the Men in Black. Man, what a turn of events that was. I think that both of us expected Crixus to win because Crixus is just like got this head full of steam as a babyface. But we did not expect the title to change hands, as we said, and we definitely did not expect. Hey, don't listen to him. We definitely did not expect what happened to happen.
I'm sorry, what?
I leaned over to the.
Is there a mouse in your pocket? Is there a mouse in your pocket,
Here we
dude?
go. This guy over
Is there
here.
a mouse in your pocket?
This guy gets one thing right.
Because the
this
meat
guy
part
gets
of we
one
called
thing
that.
right.
Divisions are just spreading here, folks. You can cut the tension with
This guy gets one thing right.
I will say that when this match was going on live, I leaned over to one or the other of you because we were there in Davis Arena, and I said the Masked Men are about to get Crixus the championship. That they were going. That I was expecting the Masked Men to run in, interfere, help Crixus win. That didn't happen. Turned out it was the veteran Jack Vaughn.
Crixus won it about as fair and square as possible.
That was my point. Is Crixus just won it? He just beat him straight up.
I wouldn't even call what Jack Vaughn did. Jack Vaughn cleaned up the outside. Jack Vaughn didn't necessarily interfere in the match.
Neutralized the right hand of doom.
Yeah,
in this case,
definitely. I mean, man. Mazel tov. They've got a bunch of stuff going on all summer long that I'm sure we're not even to the first tree, much less in the woods of, right?
I mean, it's the 5th day of June. It's a long summer.
The summer of war, baby.
A wise man once said there are 104 days of summer vacation. So
I don't know what's up next for Tony Evans, though. I think that would be kind of interesting to delve into.
Did you guys see the Step Brothers meme?
Yes.
No.
I believe. Yeah. So they took Luke Curtis and Tony Evans and replaced them on the Step Brothers poster. And Luke actually shared it and was like, I hate you, bro, but you have a nice collection of nudie magazines.
Yeah.
So
that was Wendy and Ren.
Yeah, that was Wendy and Ren, and they have hi, they're both in the chat.
What's the name of the podcast?
So nice to meet you.
All Roads Lead to a Dream?
Yes.
Is that what it is, guys?
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Wendy or Ren. That it's All Roads Lead to a Dream on Instagram is their wrestling Instagram page.
Such a pleasure to finally meet you in person, Wendy and Ren. Seriously. I think I was the last one out of the group that hadn't done so yet.
Well,
Yeah.
I had met them without realizing it was them.
And I apologize for that because Wendy saw me a few weeks ago and came up and said hi. So I just kind of assumed that everybody had already made that
she
connection.
came up and said hi. If she introduced herself, I was just lost in the moment the first time she did it and didn't connect it or know what I was. You guys know
Well,
me.
it's easy to do at Davis Arena because every Thursday night is so action-packed.
It's like a Bonnaroo in there, man. You'll
Yeah.
see new friends and old friends all like Tiny Brian, Hollywood, Haley J, and Tiffany Nieves, right? Well, I guess I already did it. We predicted wrongly that the Bad Girls Club would interfere and give Tiffany the victory. They tried to interfere. Hollywood had a answer for everything they tried to do the entire match, which I loved. Just trying to make Hollywood looking smart as hell, right? Loved that. Tiffany tapped her out though, flat in the middle.
I didn't see that coming.
Me neither. That
was with the royal seat too.
That is a big statement loss for someone like Hollywood. Like she doesn't really lose like that. Having said that, everyone here knows her. Everyone here loves her. She's been super nice to us.
Absolutely, yeah.
She's not going to lose anything by losing here. In fact, Tiffany's going to gain a lot. But I definitely did not expect a submission tap out loss from Hollywood.
Neither
right
did
here.
I. No.
Loved it though.
It took a couple times, but she finally got that royal seat cinched in, and then that was it.
I do feel bad for my two friends who went this past week, and they're big Hollywood people, and they've never got to see Hollywood wrestle. And the first time they get to see her wrestle, though, is a submission loss right in the middle, a tap out. I literally was like, sorry guys, this is just how wrestling goes sometimes.
Yeah, that's just how it is, man.
Tiny Brian, next match.
Let's see. That would be the Buzz Backlund versus
Will Austin.
Will Austin.
Le Futur.
And you guys split this with Behinds taking the Backlund.
I'm sorry. Who won?
This guy over
Look
here.
at the competitive streak arising in creamy nougat center of the show.
I don't even have anything to say over here. I'm just shocked at this monster that we've apparently created. You took Buzz Backlund.
Well, yeah, because I saw him live twice.
I took Will Austin, as I did both pairings here. I've got to be honest, man. I said this on our regular show, OVW podcast, wherever you find your podcasts. This could have been a couple of good matches for Will Austin and Buzz Backlund. This is going to be a great program for Buzz Backlund and Will Austin.
It is going to be a great summer to watch those two go back and forth.
And I am super duper excited. Buzz Backlund has up until this point been everything that we were told he was going to be.
Yeah.
And I know we've got a pay-per-view at the end of the month. I texted you this a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, I want to say 22, Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, one of my all-time favorite matches. Boys, Buzz Backlund, Will Austin, look at that match. If you are carrying this into the pay-per-view, look at that match, because I think you've got I hesitate to say mini version, but I think you have a version of that match on the pay-per-view, rip-roaring, ready to go, if that's where we're going with it. One of my all-time, if you guys at home haven't seen it, it's on YouTube for free. Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania, one of the all-time great matches. But I think that I really do think, and I mean, those are huge shoes to fill, getting compared to Shawn Michaels, getting compared to Kurt Angle. I think that the chemistry between Buzz Backlund and Will Austin is that of Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, though.
And they're both so young.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially Buzz. He can't be more than, what, like 19, 20?
I don't think the kid can buy a beer or a pack of cigarettes.
I don't think so either.
Our producer, P.S. Woodard, is probably like a whole high school generation older than him.
Are you serious?
He is I'll be 23.
How old are you, P.S.?
He'll be 23 in October.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, realistically, I would say that this kid, much like Cal Hero, another standout from OVW, I'd say that this kid probably left high school, got his degree, and got right into the biz.
Bounced.
Yeah. Really, really love Buzz Backlund, though.
Yeah.
Really, really love Buzz Backlund. I don't know if another wrestler could have come along and made me kind of switch allegiance from Will Austin as easily and as fluently and as quickly as I did. But I am really
Wow.
I'm not. I still love Will Austin, but
do you want to manage?
I do want to manage Will Austin. He would have not lost
what
either.
What if I gave you the chance to manage Buzz Backlund?
He doesn't. I'm not that clean cut.
That's very true.
I'm not that clean cut, and I haven't heard the kid speak yet. But like, I think, and it's not that Will Austin can't speak. I think that like it would just be so much fun to have Will Austin have a buddy where they're both just like kind of not as cool as they think they are, and very angry at the fact that they're not cool. And like, I just think that would be so much fun, and I think I could play that character really well. That's all that comes from. I will say, Will Austin would have won both of those matches with a manager, though.
Well, you might not be wrong about that.
We love Buzz Backlund, though. We love Buzz Backlund around here. Layla Gray was in action. We saw in action. We said Layla Gray's going to take it, right? Both of us. That was easy. Easy.
That was Leela, right?
Leela Feist.
Feist.
Yeah.
Yes, that's who that turned out to be.
It was
good
nice,
to
see her
nice
again.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes,
nice
very
young
nice.
woman.
And I think that's 2 weeks in a row with her at OVW.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's got a great look. I think that she is very kind of effortlessly charismatic, which is in wrestling, that's sometimes that's all it takes. And I think that seeing her twice in a row, getting beat twice in a row, OVW pays off to people that lose. So if Leela is still around and Leela still wants to be around, I don't think that it's much past the next pay-per-view that we see her getting slotted into a more and more prominent spot, because I think there is something very intangibly likable about Leela Feist right now.
Yeah.
She's feisty.
She is feisty.
Going for the low-hanging fruit, eh?
Look, I'm a fat man. I can't climb the tree. I've got to have the low-hanging fruit.
Cal Hero, Tussin Chains.
What a great match.
Yeah.
So did I actually take dysfunction here?
I believe you did.
Are you kidding me? Did I really say that?
That's what I have in the notes.
I must have been in a bad mood last week. No, what an idiot! What an idiot! Cal Hero, Tussin Chains. That's the stars right there, baby.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot believe I sat here and looked these fine people straight in the face and said that I thought Dysfunction was gonna win.
We need sound effects here on the fan zone. We need like the Price is Right loser horn or like some zany sound effects.
I do want to
happens.
get a drum machine that's on our side, a sample pad that's on our side,
Yeah.
so that they kind of can't control it and we could do our own dumb sound effects over here.
I mean, we can turn it down over here, but,
Malachi's paid off.
that is true.
So, Carson Drake versus Orion. That's not actually who he ended up going against. He ended up going against someone else, right?
Yes,
the
it was.
Iceman.
Yeah. Oh, yes, it was. It was Justice Davis.
Justice Davis. Yeah.
Look at that! I pulled his name out of thin air.
The prediction stays correct, though. We both predicted Carson Drake over Orion.
Which brings us to a larger discussion about our friend Mr. Drake.
I actually have two things I'd like to go from here, but please, you first.
Is there really a large discussion, or is it like a small discussion?
I've been led to believe it might be a smaller discussion than he wants it to be, but Brian.
I mean, just...
It might be a tiny discussion from Carson Drake's point of view.
Yes, a tiny discussion about a small subject.
Okay, yes.
Do we...
His dick's little.
Yeah, what do we think about... what do we think about Carson's apparent change of heart, like he's going to join America's Sweethearts?
He's got to try... figuratively.
You're talking
Not
about
literally
his
joining.
conversation.
I was
going to
say that would be an interesting...
coming out and
and
apologizing.
his contrition. Yes.
If I was America's Sweetheart, I saw the way he treated the last two. I'd stay as far away from him as I can.
No kidding.
But in terms of Mick Foley, you've known him longer than I have. You turned me on to the gospel of Carson Drake in a lot of ways.
Amen.
I think it's for real. I don't think that he had anything to do with beating up Mick Foley.
Let me get that down in the predictions.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
So we're
going to do this.
So that I can be wrong next week, as I am on most of these predictions. I will tell you where my line of thinking is. My line of thinking is, and you can go back through our podcast, OVW podcast, Very Friday podcast. Got to plug it here. This is our biggest audience we have. You could go back through in the way that I talk about wrestling, the way that I view wrestling, and a lot of it is BS, complete BS. But every once in a while, when I'm onto something, it usually is something boiled down close to that. In real life, this is how this would happen. In real life, Carson Drake would apologize the way that we saw him apologize.
And then someone else would beat up Mick and make it look like it was his fault.
Right. Yes, absolutely. And a little bit of that is informed by the fact that when I've seen Carson Drake outside of OVW or outside of television, he wrestles like a babyface, and I think that OVW not only deserves to see him wrestle that way, but needs to see him wrestle that way, as we're establishing this whole new group of like guard, as we're establishing this whole new group of heels and baby faces. I want to see which side Carson is on, and I know which side I want him to be on. I want him to be on the babyface side. What do you think?
Brian, are you taking the opposite position?
I really would like to believe Carson Drake.
I must be the only one who just thinks he's like spoiled milk.
It's that suit and that smile, and I get it, man. And that dumb haircut, and I get it, man. But I think that this would be a beautiful moment.
You know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. And
wow.
Here's a series of if-then statements.
Okay, this is a lot to write down.
Nah, just follow me with.
You can just go back through it. It'll be fine.
So
it'll be here live from perpetuity.
If that is the case, and we are seeing a new Carson Drake, then he probably didn't attack Mick Foley. He just happened to find him, which looks bad on him, circumstantially speaking. If it was him, obviously he attacked.
Why would he come out and get
okay
everybody if he was the one that attacked him?
It could be misdirection. Pay attention to what's going on over here while I'm really getting stuff done over here on the other side.
That's
and you're
fair.
Not looking at that.
So are you joining High?
Well, I'm not done yet.
Talk dirty to me, baby.
If we really are seeing a new Carson Drake, then chances are he did not attack Mick Foley. But if that is the case, who did? And my first choice would be the Masked Men.
Okay.
If that is the case, did Crixus direct them to do so?
Interesting.
Here's the thing, and we saw this, to touch on what you're saying, we saw this with Cashflo. The Masked Men are kind of like agents of chaos. Now we think we know their direction a little bit more because of the Crixus alignment. But like Crixus right now is a heat magnet, even with the alignment with the Masked Men.
The Highland Heat Magnet.
The Highland Heat Seeker. Doesn't it seem like he would? Doesn't it seem like just for S's and G's that he would attack Mick Foley?
Maybe.
He was having the Masked Men run. He was having the Masked Men run roughshod over the entire thing while he was in Europe. Doesn't it seem just like for S's and G's he would attack Mick Foley?
Why not?
I'm just saying.
Maybe he was the one who did it, and the Masked Men hadn't gotten there yet. Maybe they were stuck in traffic.
Let Carson Drake be a babyface. That's all I'm saying.
Let's get through the rest of these predictions so we can get
Mr. Flo on.
Mr. Flo on.
Okay.
Just a couple of named matches, easy for me to say this week. That is Hema versus OVW Women's Champion Layla Gray, title versus career. Who you got?
Hema wins. Tiffany still has the number 1 contendership.
So we're gonna get Layla out. We're gonna take the belt off Layla, and now it's a Bad Girls internal thing.
And I don't know anything one way or the other. I really don't, and I hesitate to even speculate. But him has been here for a certain amount of time, and there might be some things outside of the wrestling world that we're kind of running up that certain amount of time period with, and I don't know one way or the other, so I won't speculate. But unless there's something outside of the wrestling ring that's going to prohibit Hema from continuing to be in OVW, I say Hema is the right choice here. I say let's keep messing up the Bad Girls Club. Let's just keep putting different breaks inside the Bad Girls Club, and let's keep this mess going because I love it. I love the chaos that the Bad Girls Club is in right now.
Brian.
What he said.
Okay, so we are both going with Hema to win.
You pretty well took the words right out of my mouth. If there's something externally, I could see her losing the loser leaves town match.
Right.
But if there's not, I think the smartest and most fun thing to watch on TV would be a bigger disagreement between the former members of the Bad Girls.
Well, and you thought you knew what you were getting at Double Cross. You didn't. You thought you knew what you were getting at Independence Rage. It turns out you might not. Like, this story is
full of swerves.
Full of swerves. Yes, it's a.
I thought you said swears.
It's a fun house.
Swerve that makes you swear. That's a swear.
It's a fun house mirror maze of a story this far, and it has been a blast.
The only other named match we know for certain is a women's tag match: Hollywood Haley J and Sophia Rose.
Interesting.
Versus Tiffany Nieves and Dream Girl Ellie.
I wonder what happened to Lady Bird.
Couldn't make it this week.
She flew away.
I do know that Lady Bird.
Brian Hines, who you got?
In all honesty, I do know that Lady Bird is having some family issues right now.
Wow, I see.
So please, stay strong, Lady Bird.
I'm gonna put my money on Hollywood Haley J and Sophia Rose because I know Haley is more than upset about losing to submission last week to La Princesa Tiffany Nieves.
That'll probably be the hottest moment of the night.
It will, and if you ask Tiffany about it, she'll tell you this: I'll do it again.
Any time that Sophia and Dream Girl Ellie have been in the ring together, there has been
tension.
It's yeah, and maybe not all angle. So I'm very much looking forward to see that again. Very much looking forward to seeing that again. I will actually go Bad Girls Club here, though.
Okay.
All right.
Or do we? Let's do a side prediction. Are we going to get the primal?
Yeah.
Are we going to get the primal scream?
We haven't seen it. Actually, no. I'm going to say no because we haven't seen it in a while. And whenever the Bad Girls Club completely dissolves, that's when we'll see it again to kind of let us know Ellie's back to the Ellie we remember.
How do you feel about it? You predicting it?
She did throw one out there a few weeks ago. And like you said, you don't catch them
It's
as
not
often
like the set
anymore.
piece it used to be.
It used to be just, part of every match, a big part of every match. So I don't know. I would like to see it, but do I think we'll get one? Probably not.
All right. So a prediction where you both said no. That's high drama. All right.
Yeah. I said Tiffany. You took Haley.
But
I
the
took Bad
primal
Girls
scream
Club.
side bet thing.
Yeah,
okay.
So Cal Hero in action. Cal Hero wins. Tuss and Chains in action. Dysfunction wins. Shira and Super Z in action. Can't wait to see the proper.
That is going to be great.
Yes, this will be kind of the first time we see them as a proper unit together. That's going to be fun. No matter who they end up going up against, they're going to end up winning, right?
I really hope that the finisher is Super Z jumping forth from the shoulders of Mahabali Shira.
Mahabali Shira is going to, at one point during this run, throw Super Z from the ring onto the rampway, or
from the top rope down to the ramp.
Yeah, we're just gonna see something ridiculous, and we're gonna love it whenever it happens.
Yeah,
that's all. I'm not saying it's this week. Could be this week.
Probably several weeks.
But
several times.
But the force of Shira, the size of Shira, the strength of Shira, paired with Super Z and how athletic and kind of acrobatic, gymnastic he can be, that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So we're about to go to break, but before we do, what do y'all think of that belt you're wearing that there's between you guys?
This belt?
Yeah, what do y'all think of that? You like it?
Who did this? Our friend did this?
Our friends over on, you can follow them on Instagram, that WrestleLink.
WrestleLink.
The two words, no spaces. WrestleLink, they made that for us free of charge, so we do like to mention them occasionally.
Well,
we should.
I'm a big fan of belts, and it is honestly surreal that someone would A, listen to this, B, listen to this enough to know what the logo looks like, and C, go out of their way to make us our own belt. That is incredible. Yeah. WrestleLink, thank you so much, man.
Yes, we really appreciate it. When I grew up, my mom made belts from the pants that she hemmed for my brother, and they were all denim belts with construction paper plates.
This is a little better.
This is
a little
nicer.
Is a lot
better. Mom, no disrespect. I really appreciate you making all those belts for us.
We love you,
Mama
Hines.
We wrestled for all those, every day after school for I don't know how many years.
I saw your brother. I don't know how he didn't beat the tar out of you. He's got a good center of gravity.
Summer '86 and '87, it was the two-man Great American Bash in Carroll Acres back in the day.
So we will be back right after this. On the other side of this break, Cashflo will be joining us.
One more thing we want to set up is
Please.
that this is we're going to go out to a thing you did with Crixus, Brian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So we go out with that video of you and Crixus. So
Yeah.
everybody watch that, and we'll be back shortly.
This is
with
a pre-champion Crixus. Him and Behinds will be back with Cashflo. We'll take all of your questions. Thank you guys so much for joining us. My name is Jack Minogues. This is Behinds. This is the OVW FanZone Live.
Hey guys, it's Behinds. I'm here in the studio doing the interviews with the OVW podcast, and I am joined right now by my buddy, the Scottish War Machine Crixus.
Yes, you are.
I'm glad to see you again, man.
Oh,
it's been a while.
It's good to see you too.
Yeah,
man.
it's
Glad to
been a
be
long
back
time
here.
since we've had a
Man,
chance to have
I
a
miss
toast
this
together.
whiskey you will make up in here. It's really good, and yeah, you know, it's just slanger.
Slander.
Slanger.
Slanja.
Slanger.
Splendid.
Slange.
Salanja. Salanja?
Slanger.
Slanja.
Slanger.
Slanja.
Slanja.
Slanja. Cheers.
Is he for real? Slanger.
Slanja.
Scowl.
Skull.
We are back. Thank you for sticking with us on this OVW FanZone Live. Always a learning curve here. We're always trying to do our best, we will be. My name's Jack Minogues. I guess let's get that out of the way. We'll house clean a little bit. His name is Brian Hines.
That's right.
We are joined today by a man who his schedule is busier than ever. You guys know him if you're joining us tonight. If you've seen wrestlers on Netflix, if you've seen OVW over the last 4 years, his name's Cashflo. Cash is king. The Tulsa King star himself. Cash, how are you tonight?
You're right about a few things. Busier than ever, yes. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm pushing through.
What was I wrong about?
Grinding is what we do.
Grinding is what we do. How was Atlanta?
It's an interesting town. It's huge. I'm not used to, this big of a town.
Mm-hmm.
Much bigger than Louisville and the surrounding area. That's for sure. I enjoy it.
It's a different place down there.
It's nice. It's getting a little warm here though.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to get hotter before it gets any easier as far as that goes.
There's nothing like that area of the South's heat, man. It is absolutely excruciating. Will you be there for most of the summer?
Yeah, I believe that I will be. I don't really have a time frame as of yet, but it's looking more and more like I am going to be here through the summer.
How's set life treating you, Mr. C?
Do what now?
I said, how is life on the set treating you, Mr. C?
Life on the set. It's an entirely different world, full of its own challenges and work to be done. But you know what? I'm the type of guy that welcomes those types of challenges. You thrust me in something new, I'm going to do what I've always done. I'm going to come in and I'm going to try and sit on top of the ladder.
We'd love to hear that. And I know that there's going to be some stuff here that you have to be
Let's get to our first question from the audience.
Ooh, we got questions from the audience.
All right. Wendy, one of our Wisconsin corner.
Hey, Wendy.
She asks Cashflo, how do you feel about being on a scripted show with some big name stars? You've got people I know in there.
Yeah.
Rocky himself.
Hey, You know, they're not the only stars on that show. I'm one of those stars. But no, in all seriousness, you know, it's one of those things that you look at. You know, at first you question, do you really, you know, are you really supposed to be there? But then, you know, once you're there, and then you hunker down, and you know, you honestly you start to roll with the punches, and you start to fit in. You start to get to know these guys. You start to see them for who they are, and you know, you realize, and I've realized this rather quickly. You know, although I question, you know, who am I to be in the same room with all these stars?
We don't.
And I'm going to be completely honest. Those guys have asked me that same question. You know, who are they to be in the room with me? And I'm not even kidding. I'm not even trying to blow my own horn.
That's amazing.
That's the reaction that I got being on set with those guys. And, you know, that in itself is pretty amazing, you know, to know that all the hard work and all the time that I put in with OVW and, you know, everything else, you know, what we've done is being seen and it is out there. And, you know, it makes me smile every day. I wake up, you know, before I have to go to work, and, you know, I just smile, and then I look around and see what I'm doing, and you know, I'm living my best life. I'm trying to, you know.
So is it true that you got involved with Tulsa King through a blind phone call after your appearance on Wrestlers?
It's really a long story, and I'm
I
not
understand.
going to get into it. I really am not going to get into it. The proper channels was followed. Needless to, let's just say this. It was a role I think was made for me.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, we certainly don't want any spoilers.
No, absolutely
and
not. We know
this
you
is hard.
can't talk about a lot of things, and we will tread very lightly on that. But that's got to be an amazing feeling for you.
Let's go to DJ Eric, who asked a wrestling related question. If you could put together a new legacy of brutality, who would you recruit from the OVW stable?
A brand new legacy of brutality. Well, let's be honest. There is no legacy of brutality without Josh Ashcraft and
the West End villain.
No, East End.
East End. Come on. Oh my
because
gosh.
I think of I don't think of Louisville as having an East End. I think of
they have both ends. They got a
put
north
his
and a
East
south
end
end too.
He's going to put his East End foot in your behind if you can't get it right.
There is no LOB without Josh Ashcraft, and there is no LOB without a man that has stood by my side, you know, the whole time I've been wrestling, and that's Isaiah. Those would be my first two. Now, if I was to add another two, you know, I would have to throw in. I'd throw in Luke Curtis, Mr. Certified himself. I think he would fit in very nicely within the legacy.
Interesting choice.
Have you been able to keep up with Isaiah over the past couple of weeks? He's kind of been showing back up tentatively in OVW.
I've seen the lights go off and the lights come up, and I see him making his presence felt. I definitely do, and I'm actually glad to see that.
I think everyone
OVW
was.
seems to be going through a bit of turmoil at this time, and I like to see some guys that are trying to police that. Unfortunately, I can't do that. You know,
you were part of the turmoil yourself.
Do what?
You were a little bit part of that turmoil that's plaguing OVW yourself with the Masked Men.
You did take a hit from the Masked Men in the parking lot a few months ago.
Yeah, they made their presence known, and let me be really clear with the OVW fans and you guys.
Thank you, please.
At some point, when I do come back, some people are going to have to look me in my face, and they're going to either answer my questions or I'm going to break things. And they're going to answer me honestly. And if they don't, then we're going to have big issues.
Can I ask?
And I'll leave it at that.
Can I ask you whether or not you would rather them answer you honestly, or rather you just start breaking things?
I'm easy to get along with. I always have been. I would rather them answer me honestly.
Sure.
But whether they answer me honestly or dishonestly, it's not going to matter.
I'm on team
Things
break
are
stuff.
Get broke. Things are going to get broke.
It's just one of those days.
It is what it is. You know, they started this. I didn't.
Tony Bryan,
You're going to finish it.
They started this. I didn't.
So, last thing from the, how do you feel about do you have any response or any comment on Crixus now apparently either aligning with the Masked Faction or Men in Black as we're hearing to call them, or maybe involved with them all along? What's your thoughts on this, Cash? Help us out.
You want my insight?
You are the leader of the locker room, even if you're in Hot.
We need your insight.
You want my insight on Crixus? You know what I think? I think when Crixus got hurt and he spent all that time away, and he started to realize some things were going on at OVW that he didn't like, and I think, I don't think it was a spur of the moment thing. I think some things have been on Crixus's mind for a long time. Okay. Do I think maybe some people have been in his ear? Yes. Do I think that Crixus is the penultimate of what's going on with these guys in the black masks? No, I don't.
Whew. Wow.
I do not.
Ooh.
I think that is just the beginning. They want to talk about a revolution. I think that's what they're going to try and do. Okay? As far as Crixus goes, I just want all the OVW fans to really understand what it is that Crixus has done. He's come out in front of you guys for months, okay? And talks about being the Scottish warrior. He praises the fans. He gets the fans behind him, and he does what every soft, scared little boy does. He tucks his tail and he turns his back on the people that have gotten him to where he is. And that doesn't fly well with me. That doesn't sit well with me. And I know it doesn't sit well with guys like Luke Curtis, with guys like Cal Hero, with guys like Tony Gunn. It doesn't sit well with guys like Mahabali Shira. That doesn't go over well.
And all of those guys. All of those guys as friends and as enemies.
Even more so than he did before was put a big old target on his back. And now there's no denying it. Now everybody knows exactly who Crixus is. And, paybacks are one of those.
Cash, that insight speaks volumes. You've been on every side of every feud in OVW. You've been not unlike where Crixus is right now, both as people cheering you and as people booing you. The insight that you just gave us there as fans of OVW, and hopefully to some of the other wrestlers in OVW, should go miles.
Well, listen. Let me explain something. There may be some parallels between Crixus and I, but they're in two entirely different roads. I never looked all the OVW fans in the face and smiled at them. I looked them in the face and I told them to get lost. Okay?
Right.
Those guys are the ones that wanted me on their side, the fans, the OVW fans. And I took it in stride, and not one time have I ever wavered. Crixus, no. Crixus got him on his side. He eased them in. And then he decided to go the coward route and turn his back on the people that got him to where he is. Okay? There are no... That's where the parallels end between Crixus and I. We have two entirely different roads. Okay?
Sure.
And for Crixus, well, I'll say this, somebody is coming for him, hopefully he makes it through, because when I get back, he's going to have to answer some questions from me.
And we know the way that you like to ask questions. You want honesty, or you're going to break stuff. Cash, Atlanta is a crazy place. It's a hot place. Please stay safe. Please stay cool. Thank you for joining us. And is there anything here on the way out you'd like to say to the OVW faithful?
Hey, I just want to say I miss you guys. I miss you guys at the OVW podcast as well.
Man, thank you.
I miss all the OVW fans. I miss seeing you guys every week, interacting with you guys. And just know my light is getting brighter and brighter and brighter, and I'm doing extremely well here. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, but know this, I will be back. I will be back. Hey, you guys take it easy, okay?
Crix,
you too,
Cashflow,
Mr.
thank
C.
you so much, man. Thank you so much.
We certainly appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
Man,
hadn't
missed a beat, has he?
legend
Hasn't missed a beat, has he?
Came ready to play.
Yeah,
Golly.
and it sounds like Crixus is going to have some answers. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but this pool cue right here, this is the one that Cashflow
Cash has used that to get answers before.
Took to the keister of Luscious Lawrence in the Ballroom Brawl match.
It is
a
one
few
of our
months back.
favorite artifacts here at the podcast.
So when he talks about breaking stuff, he is definitely going to break some stuff. He's going to break his foot off and Crixus' ass
Well,
if he ain't careful.
if he really needs some help talking to whether it be Crixus or anybody else on Cashflow's return, we'll bring that and it'll get shoved up somebody else's keister.
I mean, yeah, let's make it an even more.
We'll clean it first. We'll clean it first. There's a lot of biohazard stuff that goes into that. Yeah,
that's not cool.
You want to boil all your toys before you use them, but we'll make sure it's clean.
Okay.
So let's go over the calendar for the week.
Okay.
Tomorrow is OVW Rise Live. We will be there.
We will, as
Oh,
always,
yay.
as most always.
And Victor, whose wife is still off the continent, she will also be there.
Really?
Oh, yeah. No, she won't be, but he will be.
I was gonna say, how is she gonna be in two places?
No,
at
no,
once?
she-
What,
she
what
has-
is she, an OVW summer tour date from Dano's national tour?
She's in Peru.
Yeah, she's back a little
And
later.
she's going to bring
Pins.
some loot for us.
Loot.
Yeah, sign
We'll
up
put
for
it
the
in a crate.
OVW FanZone
Surprise
Connect.
loot.
Sign
Yeah,
up for
on
the
our
OVW
website.
FanZone Connect on our website, OVW Podcast, for some of said loot, please.
Tomorrow is also the day we release AJ McKay and
Jake
referee
Cloyd.
Jake Cloyd.
Yes.
Interview that Jackman
Yes.
did earlier this week. That's a great interview, so definitely make sure you check that out in our podcast feed.
It's my first solo one. It was weird not having my colleague here with me. We were looking. You did roll in. We were trying to figure out a way to get you on, but it didn't work out that way.
We haven't worked out the walk-on
We're gonna use
yet.
that. We're gonna use that gimmick later.
But yeah,
But
there will be walk-ons because it's summer vacation now, and I'm off doing dad things from time to time as much as humanly possible. And I did make it for the tail end of the interview, but you guys had such a flow going. I wanted to jump in and add my 2 cents and say hi, but you got this one covered.
There's a handful of different types of interviews that we do. Some of them are very serious. Some of them are not. Some of them are, very heartfelt. Some of them are more in kayfabe. Some of them are all in between. This was an all-in-betweener.
It was a great interview.
AJ and Jake were great.
Yeah.
Two guys that I had no idea what I was going to be walking into, but they treated me really well as interview subjects, and I would like to say maybe I treated them well as an interviewer. So really, really appreciated having those
AJ is
guys
also
by.
going to hopefully make us a main title sequence for this.
Yeah.
Get us some more music and some things going on.
Well,
in
he
here,
knows
gonna help
he
us
knows
step
we
up
need
our
all the
game.
help we need.
We definitely need all the help we can get.
God and baby
So
Jesus.
that's Friday. We will hopefully have Victor and I doing Overdrive. Next Monday, you can catch OVW Podcast early in your feed.
We're unofficial again on Monday.
We're unofficial again on Monday, but we'll be talking about all the stuff that happens at Rise tomorrow before we come back here, review our predictions, make more, and talk to more of the OVW universe right here on FanZone Live.
That's right.
OVWTix.com. That's for not only your Thursday night shows, but for the Dano's National Tour. This has been OVW FanZone Live. We are the OVW Podcast broadcast team. You can find us at OVW Podcast, OVWPodcast.com. For Malachi P.S. Woodard, Tiny Brian.
Behind.
My name is Jackman. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.